Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to see chapter number 2, Beehive, The Sound of Music, part 1. Evelyn Glennie listens to the sound without hearing it. Now, let me give you a certain introduction. Let us discuss the title first. The title itself is very interesting. Here, the author says Evelyn Glennie listens to the sound without hearing it. Now, we all wonder and we are confused that how can you listen to sound when you can't hear. So this is something we will discover, that how Evelyn Glennie was able to listen to the sound although she could not hear. Now before we proceed to our chapter, let's discuss first this. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. Now, someone has commented this about Evelyn. He says that although God took away her hearing power, she was impaired, but He gave her an extraordinary thing, and that was the sense of feeling. She could feel very deeply, far more deeply than normal people, and that is why she was able to express music so beautifully, so well. She is well known multi percussionist. She plays a different percussion instrument like xylophone, drums, etc. Now, read the following account of a person who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. From here, we came to know the theme of the story and message we get from the story. The story of Evelyn Glennie is a motivational story. It inspires all of us to overcome our physical disabilities and achieve our dreams and goals just like Evelyn did. Now, lesson and explanation. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train, and light girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of approaching train. Now, what do you mean by jostle? Jostle means push roughly, and what is slight, small, and thin. The scene. Now, explanation. The scene is of the train platform. It is underground, and there is a huge rush at the platform. People are pushing each other to get way. There is a small thin girl. It is Evelyn. Evelyn is standing at the railway platform waiting for the train, and just as she feels the vibration of approaching train, she realizes the train is about to come. She gets nervous and excited. This is the train that will take Evelyn to London. She is going to London to learn music, as she has got admission in the Royal Academy of Music. Right now, Evelyn is in Scotland. Evelyn belongs to Scotland, which is a country in Europe. Life in Scotland is not as fast as in London. London has very fast life, like our Mumbai. It is urban, whereas Scotland has farms and countryside. So that is why Evelyn is nervous, because she is leaving Scotland for London. And she is also excited because she is doing something that she always dreamed of. She is going to the Royal Academy of Music to learn music. Okay. Now second पैराग्राफ स्टार्ट करने से पहले ये देखो. It was her first day at prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. Now, some difficult words. Daunting means frightening, scary. Then teenager, a person who is in his teens, just like you people. Evelyn is 17 years of age. She is a teenager and she is fresh from Scottish farm. As Evelyn is from Scotland, which has more of farms and countryside, she has not seen fast life. That is why she is nervous. And the writer says that she is fresh from Scottish farm. Now, aspiring musician. What does aspiring musician means? A person who wants to be a musician. And profoundly deaf means absolutely deaf, behra hona. ठीक है? Now, Evelyn could not hear, and this was a bigger challenge for her. Moving from a rural matlab गरीबों वाला area, to a fast life was a small challenge. Even Evelyn faced a much bigger challenge that was her inability to hear. Now, Evelyn Glennie loss of hearing had been gradual. Gradual matlab in phases. Slowly, she started losing the power of hearing, and one day she was absolutely deaf. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8 years old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she did not move. I suddenly realized she had not heard, says Isabel Glennie. Isabel Glennie is the name of Evelyn's mother, right? Evelyn's mother Isabel recollects one incident when Evelyn was 8 years old. She says that Evelyn was waiting for her turn to play the piano, but when her name was called out, she did not respond. And her mother then realized that Evelyn did not respond to her name. That means she did not hear her name being called out. For a quiet while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. Conceal means to hide. As Evelyn lost her sense of hearing in phases, it was a gradual process. In beginning, when she could hear partially, she managed to hide the disability from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. Now, some difficult words. Specialist, a doctor specializing in a particular part of a body. And deteriorated means worst, reduced, urged means requested. When Evelyn was 11 years old, her marks has started deteriorating. The headmistress requested her parents to take Evelyn to the doctor. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. Okay, so impaired means weakened. When the doctor checked upon Evelyn, he found out that Evelyn had lost the sense of hearing. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids, जो कान पे मशीन लगाते हैं वो, and sent to a school for deaf. The doctor advised Glennie's parents that they should get hearing aids. That is, hearing aid is an equipment that is fitted into your ear and it helps a person to hear to some extent. He also suggested that Evelyn should be sent to school for deaf for deaf children. Okay, everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. When Evelyn discovered that she could not hear, that she would be sent to school for deaf children, that she was not as good as normal children, her world became colorless. It turned black. Now, what does this everything suddenly looked black? It means that all of a sudden you get such bad news, you get some news that you don't expect, and in return see blackness all around you. That is how Evelyn responded to this news. But Evelyn was not going to give up. Okay, this shows that Evelyn had determination. Although Evelyn got such shocking news, she was still determined and she did not want to give up. Okay, she was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. Okay, pursue means to follow. As Evelyn was passionate about music, this news also did not break her. She was determined to live life like normal people and follow her interest in music. For one day, she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. Xylophone. Xylophone क्या होता है? A musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different length. इसको बोलते हैं xylophone. This one. Okay. So when Evelyn saw a girl playing xylophone, she wanted to play it as well. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. So percussionist क्या होता है? Percus, percussionist, a person who plays the drum, that is tabla, etc. A person who plays different musical instrument, and potential, quality or ability that can be developed. Now, on one hand, Evelyn's teacher discouraged her because they knew that she could not hear and hearing was an important part of music. But Ron Forbes saw that Evelyn was very passionate about music, so he decided something. Okay, now Now see, most of the teachers discuss. Okay, he began by tuning two large drums of two different notes. Ron Forbes thought that he would teach Evelyn to feel music. He took two large drums and he turned them to different notes. Drums are musical instrument and he tuned them. He tuned them. He tuned each drum to different notes so that sound produced by drum was different. So it was distinct. Both the drums made different sounds. Then he told Evelyn, okay, now what he told him, don't listen through ears. He would say, try to sense it some other way. He said that. Don't try to listen through your ears. He said, try to sense it. Try to feel the music some other way. Says Elvin, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. The middle of your body is called the waist. Okay. Now, as Ron had done both the drums to different notes, the upper part of Evelyn's body, okay, that is above the waist, could feel the higher notes of the drum, and the lower part of her body, the part down from the waist, could feel the lower notes of the drum. Okay, Forbes repeated the exercise, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. This is how Evelyn can listen to sound. Although she cannot hear, she can sense different notes in different parts of body. Okay. Now, I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibration. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. Ron Forbes taught her to respond to different sounds. Different parts of Evelyn's body respond to different sounds, and that is how she could identify the sounds and different vibrations. Now, once she could identify the sounds and vibration, the hurdle had been overcome, and Evelyn's career went upward as she had determination to become a famous, a good musician, and she also did a lot of hard work. Okay, she never looked back. She never looked back from that point onwards. Means what? Once Evelyn overcome the hurdles, she started sensing the different sounds through the different parts of her body. She progressed in her career. Okay. She tortured the United sorry. She toured United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. Now, youth means young people like who are in college or high school. Orchestra क्या होता है? A group of musician. So, Evelyn toured the United Kingdom and performed with youth orchestra. By the time Evelyn reached the age of 16, she had decided to make music her life. Means she has chosen her career that music will be what she is going to be his career. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the academy. Audition का मतलब क्या होता है? Short performance देना, so that director could decide whether she was good enough. Evelyn gave an audition for the admission to Royal Academy of Music, and her score was the highest in the history of the academy. No other person had scored such a high score as Evelyn did. She then gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. Solo performances मतलब क्या होता है? Perform single, and orchestral work मतलब क्या होता है? Group performance. ठीक है? तो orchestral work group performance से वो क्या होने लगी? Solo performance देने लगी. So initially Evelyn performed in group. As she got well in her music, as she got confident, she started performing alone. Then at the end of her 3-year course, she had captured the most of the top awards. So she had achieved all the top awards by the time she had completed her 3-year course at Royal Academy of Music. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. Heroic achievement मतलब अपने आप को हीरो नहीं मानती थी, ठीक है? हीरो नहीं मानती थी. If anyone says Evelyn has done something great, she does not acknowledge that. She is very humble and down to earth. If you work hard and know where you are going, you are still you will get there. So Evelyn says that two important things for success are firstly hard work and secondly aim. She says that if you work hard and you have an aim, a target which you have to achieve, then you will definitely achieve it. Okay? And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some thousand instrument and hectic international schedule. Most sought after मतलब क्या होता है most popular and hectic means very busy. So Evelyn also achieved her goal. She worked hard and she had aimed to become the most famous, and the most sought after musician of the world, and she did that. She gained mastery of almost all 1000 musical instrument, and she is the most popular multi-percussionist of the world. She has very busy schedule. She has programs and concerts all over the world. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. Intriguing means fascinating, curious. Okay, when you watch Evelyn work or perform so effortlessly, although she cannot hear, you get very curious because Evelyn can identify the minutest sound made by musical instruments. Okay, in our 2 hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble. She laughed. It is it is not just watching the lips, it is the whole face, especially the eyes. So what he said, what our writer says, the now writer says that our writer's name is Derbok Chowli. Took Evelyn interview which lasted for 2 hours, and Debro says that Evelyn never missed a single word that spoke. Evelyn says that those men who have long and huge bushy beard give her trouble. Why do they give her trouble? Because when they speak, she cannot see their lip movement as their lips are covered with bushy beards. Okay. Evelyn says that she does not only see the lip movement of the person's face to make out what a person is speaking. She sees the whole face. That means the entire expression of the face of the speaker makes Evelyn identify or know that person is saying. She adds the expression of the eyes helps Evelyn making out what the person sitting in front of her is saying. She speaks she speaks flawlessly with her Scottish lit. My speech is clear because I could not hear till I was 11. Sorry, I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that does not explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. So, flawlessly का मतलब होता है without a fault or any kind of mistake. Lit का मतलब होता है way of speaking, like we say accent. The writer says that Evelyn's speech is flawless and she has Scottish accent as she belongs to Scotland and her voice has an accent. Evelyn says that she can speak clearly because she had learned the language. She studied till the age 11, till the time she could hear. But after becoming deaf, Evelyn also learned two new languages. She has learned French and basic Japanese. So one wonders that how she could learn that two languages also despite her deafness. Now, moving ahead. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. Tingles means causes a slight prickling or stinking sensation. जैसे गुदगुदी होना, ठीक है? So here Evelyn explains that how does she identify the music? It creates sensation in her skin, in her cheekbones, and even in her hair. So every body part of Evelyn respond to the music. When she plays xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. So when she plays xylophone, she uses sticks and she can sense the vibration of the sound produced by xylophone pass through the sticks up into her fingerprints. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. Now, resonance क्या होता है? Echoes जो produce होते हैं, ठीक है? Echoes of sound. When Evelyn plays the drum, she leans मतलब आगे झुकना, leans towards the drum, and she can feel the echo flowing into her body. On the wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration pass through her bare feet up her legs. So whenever Evelyn performs, she performs on a wooden platform and she removes her shoes so that she can feel the vibration of the musical instrument pass through the floor into her feet and up her legs. That is how she can feel the sound of the musical instrument. Next para. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audience. In 1991, she was presented with Royal Philham- Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. Not Evelyn. Now, Evelyn is delighted to hear she gives very good solo performances. In the year 1991, she was presented with this award, रॉयल फिल्हार्मोनिक। ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट अवार्ड होता है मतलब म्यूजिशियन के लिए। सोसाइटीज प्रेस्टिजियस सोलोइस्ट ऑफ द ईयर। सोलोइस्ट ईयर मतलब जो सिंगल परफॉर्म करते हैं वो। सो सोलोइस्ट ऑफ द ईयर अवार्ड फॉर परफॉर्मिंग सोलो। Now, says master percussionist James Blades, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expressed music so beautifully. Now, James Blade is the master percussionist, and his words were one of the words that we read before we started reading the chapter. According to James, God took away Evelyn's hearing ability, but in return, he gave her a strong power of sensing sounds which enabled her to become a great musician. Now, Evelyn confessed that she is something of workaholic. Workaholic means पूरे दिन कहीं ना कहीं पे अपने आप को busy रखना, ठीक है? Workaholic, a person who finds it difficult to stop working. That is workaholic, ठीक है? Evelyn is hardworking and she does not stop working. Now, I have just got to work, often harder than classical musician. Classical musician. Now, to be at par means number one with those people who can hear, who are classical musicians. Evelyn work even hard, but the rewards are enormous. Enormous means huge, big. Evelyn says that the rewards she gets for her hard work are huge and big. Apart from regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prison and hospitals. So Evelyn does charity also. She gives free concert in hospitals and prisons. Prisons matlab jail. Okay. She also gives high priority to the classes for young musicians. So she also take classes for young musicians for those children who want to learn music. Next, Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says he is signing inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. ठीक है? Evelyn is inspiration for all. She is an ideal. Anne Richlin, who belongs to the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children, says that Evelyn is an inspiration for those children who cannot hear. And when they get to know Evelyn's story, they feel that they can accomplish everything, they can fulfill all their desire. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. Accomplished means achieved. Evelyn Glennie has achieved so much in life that those people who are double her age have also not achieved those many things, that much popularity and those many awards as Evelyn has done. ठीक है? Now she has brought percussion to front of orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. Orchestra is a group of people who are playing different musical instruments, and generally the percussion instruments like drums and xylophones are placed at the back end of the orchestra, or they are placed at the side. But Evelyn performed solo. She gave special performances with this percussion instrument. The percussion instruments came in front of orchestra. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped people who look at her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not at least, she has given enormous pleasure to the millions. So, Evelyn's story is an inspiration to those people who are physically disabled. They feel that if Evelyn can achieve her dreams, even they can. And Evelyn has given a lot of pleasure to her audience by sound of good music. So that's the end of your chapter number 2. Okay, thank you.